Hey, it's Johnny with Hardtone Woodworking, and in this week's video, I learned that no matter how much love and effort you put into a project, you will always be bested by a kitten.
Oh my god!
No.
Hi,
Okay.
beautifully! Hi, look! I thought you didn't want a cat. Yes, we do.
Stick around for the rest of the video as I show you the steps I took to make this one-of-a-kind piece. This is my first time using a reusable mold. Overall, I was really impressed with just how easy it is to use. A cool feature of this design is that you can use the top support ring as a template for your mold. I will be linking all the products that I used in this video in the description below, in case you guys want to try and make this yourself. And if you guys don't know what to do with open tubes of caulking, just put a screw in it and it'll seal it right up. While using a jigsaw to cut my circle out worked, it wasn't the ideal tool for the job. The ideal tool for the job would be more like a bandsaw, but unfortunately I just don't have one of those right now, so I'm using what I've got. It took a lot of work to clean this piece up, as there was just so many little voids and cracks that I had to get in and around and clean, and there was a lot of softwood that had to be removed. When it comes to cleaning up, there are many different types of tools that you can use for bark removal and softwood removal. I like to use Dremel bits, die grinder bits, nylon brushes. You can use dull chisels. Many things work, so use what you have. So here I'm using a deep pour epoxy to seal up the wood. The nice thing about a deep pour epoxy is it'll give it lots of time to soak deep into the wood and should help prevent any bubbles from when you go to do your actual deep pour. As you'll see later in the video though, I was having some troubles with some bubbles for sure. And to make matters worse, when I went to go put the piece into the mold, I accidentally opened the marriage line on the outer ring of the mold. So I had to do a quick fix because I didn't want to wait another day for any caulking to cure. So of course the thunderstorm's rolling in right now. I wonder if you guys can hear it. Holy. Ow. Let's go check this out. Woo. Do I have to yell for you to hear me? This is my shop. This is what I have to deal with. Holy crap. My God. Okay, so what I'm using is a white mica. I don't really know, you never know how much is enough, so we're just gonna go with that. This is nuts. I'm gonna put more in. Ha! Okay, don't go second speed. That was a mistake. Storm's past. Rather than taking a stick and rubbing it or scraping along the sides here, all I'm gonna do is just basically use the paddles for that. It's a lot easier, and I think it does actually a better job. Okay, we'll leave that to sit for 5 minutes, 10 minutes. By pouring the epoxy slowly, you reduce the likelihood of air pockets developing, and it gives it time to settle. You also don't want to create more bubbles by pouring too quickly either. And by brushing the edges of the piece, any bubbles that are clinging to the sides theoretically would be popped. Now I spent many hours at this point just coming back and continuing to pop bubbles. I fought with a few air pockets that just didn't want to go away.
That's pretty satisfying, I'm not gonna lie. So it's been 5 days. I poured on, what would that be, Tuesday morning, and it is now Sunday afternoon. So it should be safe to demold. Those came off quite easily, thankfully. I need a chisel. I need to get like some nylon blocks for this. That way nothing sticks. I hope this works, because I don't want to break things, because this costs money. Okay, so I see it's peeling off. It is HDPE, so it's supposed to come off. Like, you don't need to use mold release. Okay, yeah, we're good. I just want to be careful, of course. Oh yeah. First time using this thing and I'm loving it. Now, how to get this off without damaging the mold. Wow, this looks so cool. Okay, we're gonna try something here. No idea if it's gonna work. Yep, it's working. Haha, that was the problem. Okay, so there was some bubbles. Very interesting how there were so many bubbles. Oh God, this is cool though. Eh? Huh? Yeah, Unfortunately, I have to wait another at least week and a half before I can start planing it. I gotta let it harden some more, but at least it's out of the mold now and I can set the mold up for another project one day. Oh, I can't wait though. This is so cool. Perfect. Art. Right there. Eh? Eh? Art. Bet you I could sell that for 20 bucks.
So if you've never seen one of these before, this is basically a homemade router sled. So rather than going out and purchasing a $20,000 planer, with a few $100, you could make your own router sled, which can theoretically level any size slab that you want. This is a very basic design. I have plans to get a much better one made by Take One 2, and it does feature a built-in dust collection system. But right now, it's just not something I can afford, so this will have to do. I won't lie, I've tried a lot of new things with this project, and I've learned a lot from it. And if you guys have learned anything from this video and you feel that I've done a great job in sharing my experience with you guys, then it would mean the world to me if you could hit that subscribe button, maybe give it a like, comment down below, tell me something that you guys have learned, and maybe share it with your friends and family. Starting this woodworking business has proved to be way harder than what I originally expected. I knew it wasn't going to be easy, but man, life just gets in the way and it's tough. It's definitely tough. So mad respect for anyone out there right now who's trying to start their own business. Maybe you guys can tell me about your experiences with starting your own businesses this year. It's not easy, I know that. So if you've never heard of water popping before, it basically means that you're applying water so it swells the grain and raises the fibers. I personally like to do it between each grit stage, whereas some woodworkers will tell you only to do it before your last grit stage. Either way, most woodworkers would agree that water popping does lead to a better finish. And when sanding, it's very important to make sure that you don't focus on one spot for too long. As you can see, I follow a circular pattern here, and then I like to do a crosshatch. This ensures that I'm sanding evenly across the entire surface. At this point, it's time to lay out the clock face. What I like to do is mark 3 equal length lines across the piece, doesn't matter where they are, and then create perpendicular lines. The lines that you mark in the middle should all line up into a little triangle, or if you're bang on with your measurements, it should be exactly where center is. From here you can take your compass and start laying out the clock face. I like to create 2 circles, that way I can put my numbers in between those 2 lines. From there you want to make a simple cross. Using your compass set to the radius, you can mark the exact points of where every hour would be. I will do this on both circles, Then I will basically connect the lines and we are good to go. Now we're at the stage where we have to spend a lot of time going around and filling all these little micro pits and little voids that have shown up. Using a bright light really helps to spot them. What a lot of woodworkers will use is a CA glue, and I'm using the one from Starbond, and it also comes with an activator spray, which basically speeds up the curing process so it's almost instantaneous. Starbond also makes black CA glue, which I used for my clock markers. If I could give one piece of advice to you guys when using CA glue is don't make the mistake of trying to fill voids too much too fast. I went half the depth of these markers and even that was too much. So what happened a lot was it was curing on the surface with the activator but not underneath. And as soon as I tried to level it, I was having fresh CA glue pop out everywhere. And it was messy and it just became a pain. Originally, I went with a oil-based polyurethane finish. And if you know anything about them, they can cause yellowing. And when you're dealing with a light colored wood and a white epoxy, it really yellowed up this piece. At first it wasn't so bad, but after multiple coats, it just looked horrible. And after talking with my family about it, we all agreed that we didn't like it. So I sanded everything down and started the finishing process over yet again. What we decided to go with was a tabletop epoxy. It would eliminate the yellowing issue as well as provide that glass-like surface with high gloss. I started off doing a seal coat on the bottom and then the top. The purpose of a seal coat is to seal the wood so that way any air bubbles have a chance to pop before you do your actual flood coat. This ensures that you get the most clarity when you do your tabletop pour. After the epoxy had enough time to cure, it was time to do the final sand on the back and then install the hardware. I finished off with a 400 grit wet sand using my palm sander. I really like my palm sander for getting a nice baby butt smooth finish. Installing the clock movement, the hands, and the hanger is probably the easiest part about this entire build. I went with a sawtooth hanger, that way you can adjust the position of the clock in case my actual mount wasn't perfectly plumb. And when it came time to installing the clock hands, for some reason the protective film on the minute hand was just really stuck on there, and I spent probably over 10 minutes trying to peel it off. Whereas when it came to the hour hand, it was just like nothing.
And then there's this one.
So there you have it, guys. The clock's all finished. They did love it, just not as much as the kitten. If you guys got anything from this video, be sure to give it a thumbs up, hit that subscribe button, and I'll catch you guys on the next video. Oh, and be sure to let me know one thing you guys have learned down in the comments. I'd love to hear from you. I'll see you guys next time.